Okay, so we've connected to our root folder. We created our first page, and we started to add some structure to that using the Bootstrap CSS approach. We've added a navigation bar, a slide carousel, an article with H1 and paragraph text, a thumbnail section, and all the way at the bottom a footer. Now let's go back in and do some editing to these different parts. Let's start up here with the navigation bar. Once again, we're in live view. You can also work from the code side if you're more comfortable with that. The design view does not work very good anymore with this approach. So I'm in the live view, and I can click in my navigation bar, and I can see this is a brand area here, and I can double click within there and highlight that text. I'm just going to change this to the name of my company or my little business, which is Grandpa's Pizza. Alright, now I can click back here on the box. It's a little tricky here in the live view, sort of hard to click on things to a certain degree. And I can see that is a link. If I look over here in my DOM panel, that is a link. A tag means link. And that is the navbar brand link. And with that selected, I can come down here in my properties window and make that a link to somewhere. Well, I'm going to make that a link to the home page, index.html. Good. I think for my layout, I just want a few link buttons over here. So I'm going to get rid of these pre-made buttons over here. So I'm going to click on this link, this first link, and I can see that's an A tag there. If I look over here in my DOM panel, I can see that's an A tag, meaning that's a link. But if I look up one step above, I can see that that is actually in a list item underneath my unordered list. So I'm going to delete that whole list item. And I'm on the next one here. I don't think I need that one, so I'm going to delete that list item. There's a drop down here. You can use one if you want one. I don't want one, so I'm going to click up here to my list item for my drop down and delete that. I'm going to leave my search form. Now if I come here to the other side, once again there's a link there. I'm going to leave that one. And there's a drop down here. I don't think I need that drop down, so I'm going to go up to this list item for the drop down and delete that. Good. Now I have one link. Oh, I need a little more than that, so let me duplicate this link a couple times. If I click on that box out here, in my DOM panel, I see I'm on the link, but I want to go back to that list item for that link and duplicate that list item a couple times. So if I right-click, I can duplicate. You see now I have two buttons up there, or two links in my nav bar. Right-click and duplicate that again. And maybe one more, however many you need. I'm going to go for 4 for now. Now we can start to edit these links. I'm going to click that link box, highlight the text, and I'm going to call this one home. You can see how while you're editing it sort of jumps around a little bit. Click off, and it should realign. I'm going to click that link, and you can see I'm in the A tag down here in the DOM panel. And I'm going to make that a link in my properties window to my index.html. Next link, I'm going to make this one go to about. Click off. Click back on the link. There we are. And make that a link to about.html. Going to my next link, clicking within there, highlighting it, and I'm going to change that one to menu. Click off, click that link, and make that a link to menu.html. Obviously, whatever business you're doing, you may have different names for your links up here, so there's no fixed link names. Whatever you need for your website is what you would do. Clicking on my last one here, changing it to contact. Click that link. And change this in my properties panel to contact .html. And I'm going to save this. So I've changed this nav, or this brand section here as a link to the index page, and added all my other links. Next, I'm going to add some images to my slide carousel. And it's pretty easy. I have some prepared images for the slide carousel. It's best to size your images ahead of time. I knew I had 3 images I wanted to use, and I adjust them for the specific width and height. Okay, you at least want to have the height the same so the slider doesn't change and move around and pop all over the place. So you want to edit your images ahead of time, either in Photoshop or some other editing software. If I click on the corner of my first slider, this little image tag comes up here with a stack, a navigation stack. Click back to the first one here again. And if I click on that, I can browse for my image. Like I said, I have some prepared images ready to go. And I'm going to go for the slider 1 cropped image. There we are. It puts it right in there pretty easy. Next, I can click on my next one, click in the corner, click on that navigation, browse, and I have a slider 2 cropped image ready to go. And now I'm on my third one, click in that corner, navigate, and my cropped slider 3 cropped image. And something else I didn't mention is on these images we could have alternative text, a title. We could also make it a link to somewhere and determine how it's going to open. So you can always change some of those if you want. Okay, let me come back here. Let me go to the first tag. Now we can see we have the images in there. We can also adjust or edit this text. I'm going to click on this first slide heading. Double click on there, highlight the text, and type whatever I want. Okay, you can also click on this paragraph tag and type something there if I wanted to. Then I could advance to my next image and click on there, change the title. Change this paragraph caption if I want to, and then go to my third one. Once again, highlight that, change that. Okay, and change the paragraph text if I want to for that. Not too bad. Let's scroll down a little bit here, and let's adjust our article section. I can click that H1 tag, double click within there and highlight it and change it. Highlight that paragraph tag, paragraph text, and change that. I have a little bit of text there. I'm just going to copy and paste it just for the sake of time, just so we can see what it'll look like. I can always change it later, add more, add less, whatever. All right, good. Now I can come here to my thumbnail section, and I'm going to click in the corner. And browse for an image. I have some prepared images. These I have resized 180 by 180, so they fit in the actual size of the thumbnail. If I put an image bigger than that thumbnail, then it should go out to 100%. If I put an image out that's bigger than this box, it'll go up to 100% and fill that box. Okay, I can highlight the text here, the H3, and change that. Okay. Click the paragraph tag. Type whatever you want. And you could make these buttons links to somewhere if you wanted to by clicking on them and making them a link in the properties window. But I don't think I'm going to need those, so I'm going to get rid of these. If I click on that button, well, I can look down here in my pathway. I can see the button is actually in a P tag. If I look over here in my DOM pile, I see my button is in a P tag. So I'm going to go back to this P tag and delete that. So it gets rid of both the buttons plus that extra P tag or paragraph tag. Good. Now I can make these things links. I can click the image here and make that a link. Maybe I'll make that a link to my coupons page. And I can highlight any of this text to make a link to the coupons page. Good. Well, I got that one column. What if I want two more? I could also stretch out this, resize this column, and right here is how many column widths that this actual column is. We have 12 column widths to work with, if you remember from when we made this page. And right now it's at 6, so I could add another one over here at 6. Well, I think I'm going to put this guy back to 4 so I could have 3 columns. And a couple ways you could add those other columns. I could come down here and add a new column. That gives you a blank column. I could come over here back to that thumbnail and my DOM panel. Well, remember that thumbnail's in a column and that column is in a row. I can go back to this column and I'm going to right click in the column and duplicate. So it duplicates everything that's in here. So it gives me another column. Let me do that one more time. Let's get them on that class column MD4, and I'm going to duplicate that so I have a third column. And I could go through here and change all these. Let me change a couple of them real fast. Browse for a new image for that guy. And browse for a new image for this one. You should take the time to do a title and alternative text and things like that. Okay, and I can highlight this text. So you click on the text and highlight it. Click on it and change the link. I'll make this go to an events page. I'll click that image. Make that one go to an events page. And so on and so forth. And this one's going to be catering. You can change that link also to the pop-up windows. Okay. So almost done with the editing. Let me go back down here. Let me go to the footer section here, my DOM tag. Highlight that text. A little tricky selecting some of the stuff with the live view. I'm just going to say copy. Right. 2015. And if I go to the, click to the left of that copyright, I should be able to insert an HTML. I might have to do this on the code side. I'm going to insert a copyright symbol. If I go back to my live view, there we are. There's a copyright symbol for my footer. All right, let me save this, or preview it and save it at the same time in Safari, or Google, or Chrome, or anything. All right, so it's looking pretty good. I got some content in there. Needs some work, but it's not looking too bad. I can see this text goes a little too far across. May want to change some of the colors, some of the alignments. May want to center the text in the footer. So several things we can do to this website. We'll do that in the next